Welcome, guys, to the Meet Damien live stream. I am Damien, and today's live stream will talk about Bitcoin having a spectacular day, climbing as high as like what? Oh, did we see 70K? Oh, we did see 70K. Wow, that's crazy. And then I know we've been hanging out around near 69K, but we must have did that not too long ago, because last time I checked, we were at like 69,500. So Bitcoin having a great day. And then also the other cryptocurrencies as well having a good day as well. And then NVIDA just reported earnings, and they reported their earnings were better than expected. And I guess we're just waiting for some guidance to see if they're going to give us more good guidance going forward here. But Bitcoin and crypto doing well, and so is NVIDIA, and that's going to lead the technology stocks higher as well. I think we'll be in for at least a decent day tomorrow, at the very least here, for technology stocks and crypto. But let's get started here with Bitcoin. Okay, we see that Bitcoin is currently trading at $68,917. Nice bullish engulfing green candle here that we're starting to see on the charts here. It put us above this white line, this 21 EMA, sitting at 67,700. That is the first order of business that you need to do to try to become a little bit more bullish here. Then the second order of business is, can we get up to this green line here? This is the 50-day moving average, and that's sitting at 84,453. That would be my next near-term target to the upside. I'm looking for Bitcoin to climb back up to 84,500 here. I guess another near-term target would actually be the sideways trading here at like 77, 78K. That's an area that I think Bitcoin needs to recapture as well. So 78K and then 84,500 are your upside targets as of now. If we're gonna just climb our way out of this, this deep trench that we dug ourselves into here on Bitcoin, I think those are targets where we could get rejected. We could make still a lower high compared to what we did here in January when we saw, Bitcoin. Does anybody remember Bitcoin at 97K? I do. All right, it seems pretty far away right now at 68K. But we just recently, caught some bids here from yesterday when we did see Bitcoin as low as $62,500 here, and now we're kind of catching the bears off guard here a little bit by doing a bullish engulfing candle. Some people might call a little bit of a short squeeze here. But yeah, this is part of what can happen. And I still think we're in a bear market. Don't get me wrong. But we can still get these crazy rips to the upside where it just catches everybody off guard, catches the bears off guard, and causes a little bit of a short squeeze. And I think that's what we got earlier today and yesterday. Because I know people were licking their chops like when they saw Bitcoin at 62K. 62,500, people were licking their chops like, all right, Bitcoin's going to go down, and we're going to see Bitcoin go down to like 50 or 40K here. But that was actually a good time for the market makers to actually try to squeeze out some of these shorts here, take the liquidity to the upside, and they can still drop us down. They can still drop us down to lower prices here. I mean, Bitcoin, I would like to see Bitcoin get above 70,900 like it did here on February 15th, and then also get above 72K. 72,200 like it did here on February 8th, okay? Because you can still say that we're still making lower highs here. Even though we got a nice bullish engulfing candle here and a short squeeze, we got to get above these highs here, these candlewick highs here that we saw here earlier in February. In order for me to be more bullish, what we did today and what we did yesterday is the start of trying to be bullish here. But we got to see some more follow through going into tomorrow and the rest of the week here. Let me just double check, make sure the volume is good here for my YouTube guys. Volume is good here. All right, I actually turned on the mic. That's good to see. Good to see. You did a good job there, Damien. Turn on the mic. All right. Let me see what you guys are having to say here in the chat. I'm going to check up on my TikTok, guys. Sani Nakamoto says Bitcoin bull flag. It's not really a bull flag. This is still a bear flag because you came from higher prices and then you started flagging out. That's a bear flag, okay? Not a bull flag, okay? Unless you're seeing something on the smaller time frames. I'm on the daily time frame, but I could tell you that this right here is a potential bear flag for Bitcoin. Even though we came up and did a bullish engulfing candle here, You know, if we start flagging down and consolidating, you know, in the mid 60Ks here, you know, it still ends up becoming a bear flag where we could see Bitcoin drop down to lower prices here on us. 28K Angel says, are you in on Lobster? Is that a cryptocurrency that you just mentioned there? I never heard of Lobster. It's supposed to be lobster, right? But it looks like he spelled it as Lobstar. Daniel Ed says, my entry in XAU was 5,100. Almost in my take profit and it dropped. Do I take profit or leave it? What do I think? I mean, we could take a look at the price of gold. Or we could take a look at XAU USDT if you want. Since you said that's what you're trading. Alright. And you say that Recpool says Lobster is a new meme coin. Yeah, I never heard of it. If it's new to me, and I never heard of it before, that probably is like brand spanking new. Did it come out like this past week or this past month or something like that? How brand spanking new is it? Let's see. We got Kuador says, why is crypto up? Is it because of NVIDIA earnings? Crypto was going up even before NVIDIA earnings came out. NVIDIA earnings only came out like I think about an hour ago. But we had a pretty good day here for Bitcoin. It was climbing up into like the high 68, 69K area earlier today before NVIDIA earnings came out. I think it just has to do with you know, Bitcoin was in an area where you know, the bears could get their mouse. They could get their, you know, get punched in the mouth here is what happened to the bears. And there was liquidity to the upside that they came and snatched up. The little bit of a short squeeze here. And all it took was like maybe one big buyer to come in and actually buy up the Bitcoin at these relatively cheap levels. Now, we did actually come down to a 63K, which I highlighted here, was an area of support, okay? We actually came down to 63K back in early February, and we didn't really stay there for too long before we bounced up vigorously above that level. So 63K was an area to be paying attention to here. And even like yesterday, when we dropped down to 62,500, we didn't stay below 63K for too long because we actually closed above it at about $64,000. So let me just zoom out here. I'll show you why 63K is kind of important. You can see that we had some sideways trading here ever since like March of 2024. You know, there's been some candlewick closes and some support at this area. But if I throw on the VRVP indicator, it's going to show you the high volume nodes here. Okay. And let me just zoom out here a little bit more. But you can see that there is a high volume node here. You got the blue line here. That's your point of control. And that's sitting at 63K. That's showing that the majority of people that have bought and sold Bitcoin over the last 2 years now, going back to like 2024, they've been buying and selling at 63K. So 63K was an area of support that we touched yesterday, and we went below it just a little bit, okay, but we are treating it as support for now. That's why I highlighted on the chart here 63,000. I think I put it at 63,391 here, okay, but 63,000 basically around that area is an area of support for Bitcoin. And I think one of the big institutional investors probably was eyeballing that level as well here using this VRVP indicator that I use. And they just eyeballed that and they said, all right, we're going to take a chance and buy Bitcoin at 63K, 62K. And that's what we saw yesterday, right? We saw Bitcoin come down to 62K, not stay there for too long before we bounced up to higher prices here. And we end up creating almost like a hammer candle. There's a little bit of wick up top, so I'm not sure if that's a very strong hammer candle. But it did its job. The hammer candle is a price reversal candle that shows that the price wants to reverse. And we did that in a vicious fashion here. Very, very vigorous and vicious here, where we took out the bears and the shorts and their stop losses. And they took us all the way up to about $70,000 earlier today. Let me go into the 1 hour time frame because I don't remember seeing Bitcoin at 70K. It must have like done that while I was setting up this live stream here. Let's see. We came up at 4 p.m. We came up to like $70,000. So yeah, I was like in the process of setting up this live stream, and we actually came up to 70K. So there you go. That's a nice number for people to hang their hats on. Let's see. We got Rec Pool here. It says zoom out to a three-day chart and look at the May 2022 drop. That range in there is the same as this. Yeah, I mean, I could do that, but I already did zoom out using just the daily chart here. And yeah, I'll do the 3-day chart just because you mentioned it. But yeah, if you're looking at the 3-day chart, you can see that there's some candle wicks, there's some candle body closes and some candle wick closes here at the 63K area. So that's a very important area. And I think that's what you're trying to note here, right? See, $63,000 is a very important area for Bitcoin. Try and use as support. And, you know, if we're above it, we should try to use it as support. But if we're below it, I mean, 63K is going to end up being resistance in the future if we actually do go down to like lower prices. If we go into like 50K or 60K, we're going to see $63,000 end up becoming resistance instead of support. But right now, 63K can be support as long as we're staying above it. So there you go. We hit an important level here, 63K. And that level, I think, is going to act as support until it's no longer acting as support. But other levels to be looking out for, like I said, you know, we're going to see if Bitcoin's going to climb its way back up to like 84K. And then there's also 87K. If I throw on that VRVP indicator one more time here, you'll see that there's some high volume nodes there, especially if I zoom out here. Let me get rid of the moving averages here so it doesn't get so messy. But yeah, there's a high volume node here at 84,500. Okay. And then there's also a point of control or a very high volume node here at 87,400. Those are the levels to look for if you're bullish on Bitcoin. I would try to take some profit at those levels if I could. If I was, you know, in a spot bag or long in with a little bit of leverage on Bitcoin, I would try to take some profit at $84,000 and $87,000 here. Let's see. Gaza299 says, "Do you use the DMAC?" No, I don't. I don't. I don't use every single indicator that's out there. One of my favorite indicators is the VRVP indicator here, the Visual Range Volume Profile indicator. And I have made a video on how to set that up and how I trade with it. If you go on my TikTok page, the Meet Damien TikTok page, don't forget to follow me here on TikTok. Okay, but there's a VRVP indicator video here. It's got over like 2,300 views, and it's one of the most popular videos that I pinned to the top of my channel here. And you can watch that video to find out how to set it up and how to actually trade with it. Okay. But yeah, guys, don't forget to follow me here if you're interested in TA and on your favorite stocks and crypto here. Go ahead and follow me because there are some fake Meet Damien accounts here on TikTok, and I don't want you guys getting fooled by that. You are listening to the actual Meet Damien. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and flip the camera here so you guys actually see that this is the real Meet Damien right here. Okay. But yeah, this is me, guys. All right, the real Meet Damien. Go ahead and click the top left picture up top, right where you see me in the red shirt, and then you can click on my profile and follow me here on TikTok, and you'll know you got the real Meet Damien, and not like someone who's trying to scam you or impersonate me. Okay. Alrighty, let me see what my YouTube guys are saying here. We got Ned Reck in here. And he says it sounds good. Oh yeah, with the volume check. All right, appreciate that. Letting me know that the volume's good on YouTube. And also, just want to check to make sure that the music's not too loud. Let me know if the music's too loud or if it's fine. Ned Reck. Let me see what else you guys are saying here on TikTok. Let's see. Cool Dorj says, "What about XRP? People says it will go to 100." All right, so we did have some requests here. We did have to take a look at the price of gold because someone was asking about XAU USDT. So we'll look at that one first after we just looked at Bitcoin. And then we got to look at, I guess, XRP as the next request. And let me see. Thank you, Dal4X, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. And let me see if there's any. Did I miss any other requests here? I know we got a pretty busy live stream here. You guys have said a lot of things here. Oh, did we want to look at Lobster as a, you know, as a request here? We can look at Lobster. And then I'm just gonna write down NVIDIA so I don't forget that we got to look at NVIDIA because they did report earnings, and I did put that as one of the stocks to look at for the title of the YouTube video here. So I do want to take a look at NVIDIA at some point. But let's start by looking at XAU, and then we'll look at XRP, and I guess we'll look at NVIDIA after that. All right, let's see. XAU. I guess I can look at the price of gold, right? Because I already done some chart work on this one. Looks like it's currently trading at $5,164 here. And I'm going to get rid of the VRVP indicator for now. But just looking at Fibonacci by itself, right? Gold is coming up against the 786 retracement here, sitting at 5,225. We got above it a little bit here on Friday. And then let's see, let me go into the daily chart here. Yeah, you can see that on a daily time frame. We're respecting the 786 retracement here at 5,225. I did say in previous live streams that I think, you know, if we get to like 5,225, we'll probably go sideways, which it looks like that's what we're starting to do here. We'll go sideways before we punch up and go to higher prices here. Now, do we have momentum to punch up and go to higher prices? Let's look at the momentum indicators real quick here for the price of gold. And one of the momentum indicators I like to look at is the MACD indicator here. I think some of you should be familiar with this indicator. But this is the moving average convergence divergence indicator, and showing that we did have some selling pressure here throughout February for the price of gold. But now we're getting a little bit of buying pressure, and this looks like the buying pressure is starting to show up today. Wednesday the 25th of February here. And we're about to get a MACD crossover to the upside, but it looks like it's being a little bit shy about it. We're not getting a little, you know, push that we need to get to go to higher prices here. But I think, you know, overall, like, I think gold does want to go up to higher prices here. I'm not sure what the fundamental reasons would be, but the technicals for gold is showing that it does want to go up to higher prices here. At least looking at the MACD indicator on the daily time frame here. Okay. Let's see. The other momentum indicator I like to look at is market cipher B, and I just want to see how the money flow is looking for gold here on the daily time frame. And we see that money flow is in the green, and you got that green buy dot that came in on February 19th, and you don't have a red sell dot yet. So I think gold does want to creep up to at least the previous all-time high, maybe, and get up to that 5,598 area for the price of gold. And Nedrek gave me the thumbs up on the music and the volume. Thank you, Nedrek, for letting me know that the music and the volume is good. All right. Thank you, Kua Dorj, for sending me the gifts there, the roses there. Appreciate that. I mean, you guys just heard that right now, right? Appreciate that. We're gonna take a look at the price of XRP after this, but let me see if is there any downside case here for gold. I mean, gold, I mean, if we can't push past 5,225 in the near term here, then we might try to revisit the golden pocket here, sitting at 4,936 and 4,991. This is your golden pocket, 61865 golden pocket here. Let me see, do we have moving averages to provide support down there? We do have got the white line here, this 21 EMA sitting at 5,038. So I think gold, I mean, you can just look at this. We're kind of in an uptrend right now, right? With higher lows and also high highs here. I think gold wants to trend higher and stay above $5,000 as far as I can see in the charts here. All right, let's move on from gold. We'll take a look at XRP. XRP currently trading at $1.46, up 8.38% today. And let's see. XRP, I mean, XRP's been in what I'm gonna call a bear market. Like, let's just call it what it is. I mean, you've been in a bear market ever since you lost the 200-day moving average back here in October, and then you retested it late October and then lost it. So XRP in a bear market, anything that is bullish has to be looked at with a skeptical eye here. You're below the 200, the 100, and the 50-day moving average, and you know, just a couple of days ago and even yesterday, you were below the 21 EMA. But however, you are now getting above white line, this 21 EMA, which usually acts as a problem, right? We haven't actually been above the 21 EMA, this white line, since the middle of January, okay? January 17th, and then we lost it here, and we haven't really been, we came back up to it here in the middle of February, and we didn't even do a daily candle close above it. We went up there just for a little bit less than 1 day, and then we came back before the end of the day and stayed below it. But now, today, it looks like we're actually going, I mean, if we can hold on to these prices here for like the next hour, I got my countdown timer right there. We got 1 more hour and 9 more minutes left here for the daily candle to close here. But if we can close all this 21 EMA, that starts to let the trading bots, the algorithms know that we're above the 21 EMA and that we can start being more bullish here on XRP, okay? So if we are going to be more bullish on XRP, I mean, how high could XRP go? We're going to see how we handle ourselves at that 50-day moving average at $1.86. That's the green line right there. I want to see XRP get up to $1.86 as my first take profit target for XRP, okay? I think that kind of puts you like over here, like towards where we were trading at sideways here towards the end of January. We're at like $1.88, $1.80, $1.80, $1.77 here. So I think $1.86 should put us back to where we were trading at sideways here in January. And yeah, I think whoever bought here thinking they were buying the dip, obviously they were wrong because it did go lower than that. Okay, and I think if they're not in it for the long term here, they're probably going to want to just sell and break even at $1.86, which they thought was the lowest price they could get for XRP, but it wasn't. Okay, and if they're a bunch of skatey cats and they're not going to stay in XRP, then yeah, they're going to probably sell when it gets to break even. All these people that bought here towards the middle of January, end of January, they might get a little skittish and they might click the sell button. You could join them if you're in it just for a trade. You're not in it for the long term here. Let's see. If XRP is going to continue being bearish, though, could we get it for cheaper prices? Well, I do have the $1.11 level highlighted here, mainly because we did see $1.11 traded at back here in November of 2024. That acted as support, and these are the people that acted as support for us, for XRP to not go lower than $1.11, because if it did go lower than $1.11, I mean, we were looking at maybe XRP coming down to like 69 cents or even 53 cents. Okay, these are levels that I've already highlighted on the chart here in case XRP does decide to go down there. But for now, I think downside target for XRP, maybe we come down and do a double bottom here at some point. Maybe we don't. Maybe, you know, maybe the beginning of February was the lowest price you could get XRP, which was like $1.11, and that's it. Okay. All right, let me see what else we have to say here on the TikTok chat. Let me catch up with the chat here. All right, Kudorj, this said, is that the moving average on gold chart? We only looked at the 21 EMA for one of the moving averages for gold. Gold is very bullish. If I go back to looking at gold again, gold is very, very bullish here because you're above all the moving averages. Like, you know, XRP is very bearish because you're below all the moving averages. You just recently got above the 21 EMA. But as far as gold goes, gold is actually very bullish. It's the opposite of XRP. You're above the 200, the 100, the 50, and the 21 EMA. And the 21 EMA, that white line, could provide support for gold at 5,030. You said the momentum that I said for gold indicator. I mean, what? I was looking at the moving average convergence divergence, the MACD indicator. This is the beginning of something good here. If we continue seeing follow through where we see more green buying pressure here, you're going to see gold go up to higher prices here. Last time you had like a, you know, green buying pressure showing up and a MACD crossover to the upside, you know, that was like back here in the beginning of January, and that was when gold actually started making its run up to like $5,000 for the first time, and then going higher than that to like 5,600. If we get a MACD crossover to the upside and we get some fall through here, you're gonna probably see the same thing here, where gold, you know, has a few good days ahead of itself. and we can see gold go back up to like the all-time highs again here, and maybe even higher than that. If gold does go to all-time highs and pierces past that, we do have a 1272 Fibonacci extension that says that gold could get up to like $6,061 here. Okay, but we'll have to take a look at the charts again one more time. First, let's see if we can revisit the all-time high that we did back here in January at like 5,598. Oh, you're talking about maybe the market cipher B indicator here. I did look at the market cipher B, and these aren't really the moving averages here. This is money flow. Okay, you see money flow in the red and the negative here, then it turns green. Okay, and then this isn't really a moving average either. This is just a momentum. The blue area is this momentum. Okay, and usually you'll see momentum change pace first before you see money flow start following along. Like, let me give you an example here. Like back here in November, you saw you saw money flow start creeping up, but the momentum went up higher before the money flow started going into green here. And then vice versa, when you're coming down, you saw momentum coming down, faster than you saw money flow starting to go down as well. Okay, but yeah, the momentum wave kind of gives you an idea as like where the price might go next. And as far as like gold is on the daily time frame, momentum is pretty strong and trending upward. And of course, money flow is also following along with it by being in the green here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at NVIDIA. All right, NVIDIA is having a good solid day here. Let's take a look at NVIDIA earnings, and we'll take a look at NVIDIA on the charts here. All right, so before I start doing a deep dive into NVIDIA, let's just try to show you like what NVIDIA has done today. Today, NVIDIA was up slightly today, up 1.4%, went up to like $195.56. After market hours, I did see that NVIDIA was at $200 before I started the live stream here, but it looks like we're losing some of the price gains here on NVIDIA after market hours. Maybe because they're probably doing the earnings call right now, and maybe the markets aren't liking what they're saying here. It's not enough for NVIDIA to beat earnings. They have to actually give good guidance. They have to show or tell us that they're going to continue making more money and blowing the expectations out of the water here, or else, that these stocks are forward-looking instruments here. Even though you had a good quarter now, if you're not going to have good quarters going into like next quarter and the quarter after that, then the market might just sell that off, even if you had a good earnings report. Kuadorj, I'm not sure what exactly you're asking about. On the MACD indicator, there is moving averages on the MACD indicator. Is that what you're referring to here? Where you got the blue line and the orange line. The orange line is like the signal line, and the blue line is just another moving average line here. Is that what you're referring to? I'll wait until I get an answer back from you. Yeah, these are, that's why we call it the moving average convergence divergence indicator. These are two moving averages here on the MACD indicator, and the blue line, right, is going to move first before the orange line does. And if the blue line crosses the orange line to the upside, that's a MACD crossover to the upside. That's really good to see. That means prices are going to go up. Vice versa, when the when the blue line crosses the orange line to the downside, you get a MACD crossover to the downside, and that's when you start seeing the selling pressure showing up here. Okay. And you can learn more about the MACD indicator here. You can learn that on Vistapedia. It's a good website. I said I was going to do like a moving average convergence divergence video. I got to actually do that one of these days. I was going to do a video on the MACD indicator and a video on the market cipher B indicator here, but I haven't done that yet. I always say I'm going to get around to it, but I haven't done it yet. But I will try to make a video like that because I feel like that should be some good educational stuff for someone who was new to trading and also trying to understand it, the indicators here better. Ava Medina's in the chat. Oh my God, Ava Medina, you're spamming the chat here. Good to see you. He's clicking 11111 here on YouTube. Thank you, Sofiti Salon, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Thank you, Trustify, for following me here on TikTok as well. And Juan70, thank you for following me on TikTok. Appreciate that. All right, so yeah, we're looking at NVIDIA earnings. Well, I haven't even clicked their earnings, but their earnings, what did they say? Oh, they didn't give us the earnings. All right, maybe this needs to be updated. It hasn't updated yet, but they were expecting their earnings to be about $1.53 per share on revenue of about $66 billion, and I believe they beat all that. I gotta go look up the actual news article for that, but I just know that they beat their earnings. But apparently it wasn't good enough to sustain the momentum, because we're coming back down on the aftermarket hours price for NVIDIA. But you can see that NVIDIA is coming up on Fibonacci levels to look for. We do have a 618 and a 65 at $195 and $193. If we can punch past that, then the next level to look for is that 786 retracement at 201, and we did that after market hours, but we just lost the momentum here. We did see like NVIDIA. I remember seeing NVIDIA at 203 bucks about an hour ago before I started this live stream. If we get back to that level and push past 201.88, then we'll probably see NVIDIA come up to a 212 here, like we saw back here in October. We saw NVIDIA at 212. But it all depends on if they gave good guidance or not. And I don't have the earnings conference call playing right now. I'm pretty sure you guys probably listen to it right now if you want to, if you're interested in NVIDIA. But it's very important for them to give us good guidance. If not, then having a good earnings report, it's just not good enough. It's not good enough for the markets. They gotta have good guidance as well. They gotta tell us and continue making more money. They can't just say, all right, we got a good earnings report and we're worried about what's going to happen next quarter, because then the market's going to get worried and bring the prices down. And if NVIDIA does start selling off here, we do have some moving averages below us to provide support. We got the 21 EMA at 187 and the 50 at 186 bucks. So I think 187, 186 is where NVIDIA could come down to and get some support initially. But there's even more support here at this 100-day moving average at $183. And then of course, I doubt it, but it'd probably be the beginning of a bear market if NVIDIA actually goes below this 200-day moving average. That's sitting at 174 bucks. We would really need to have a bad quarter and bad guidance to bring us down to that level, in my opinion here. I think NVIDIA is going to probably stay where it's at right now and probably go higher, especially if they have good earnings and good guidance here. But let's see, does NVIDIA have the momentum to go to higher prices? Let's look at the MACD here real quick. MACD shows that the buying pressure is steadily increasing here. So I do believe that NVIDIA does want to go up to higher prices here. And then let's see, market cipher B. Money flows in the green. You got a green buy dot that came in last Wednesday on February 18th. Momentum is going to the upside, so I do think that NVIDIA can continue going up to higher prices here. I don't think we're going to get a sell-off, but I could be completely wrong, and it would just throw me in for a loop. I don't think, I think if NVIDIA does do a sell-off, it's not because of anything that NVIDIA did. I think it would probably be like a general market sell-off. Maybe some bad news about geopolitical events in the Middle East could probably drag NVIDIA down to lower prices here. Will.Turk says, do you think I'm cooked for a 210 call at $1.40? 210. You're basically hoping that NVIDIA can actually get back up to the all-time highs that it did here in October. I think you need to see a lot of good things happen here. You need to see NVIDIA have good earnings, which you already did. But then you also need to have good guidance, which I haven't. I have to listen to the earnings call to find out if the guidance is good or not. And then you also got to hope that nothing bad happens in the Middle East. And then maybe you'll see the prices go up to like 212 and you'll be in the money. But I think I think you might be in trouble for now. Because right now the aftermarket earnings is showing that we're only up like $1.62 here after they just reported good earnings. You need to see us get up to like at least $200 here, in my opinion, here for you to be feeling comfortable about that call option that you took. And then also at the 786 retracement at $201, there's possible resistance here, just because it's a Fibonacci level to be looking out for here. Yeah, I think that's an aggressive thing to do here, is to be buying call options on NVIDIA. But it might play out. It might play out. When is your expiration date on that call option? If it's going to be like later on towards the end of the year, then I think you'll be all right. But if it's like, you know, next week or next month, I don't know if that call option is actually going to play out. You would need to see a lot of good things happen. You need to see them happen right now for NVIDIA for that call option to play out. You know, and actually be in the money on that. Luna Moon says, if we go to war, what will go up? What will go up? In my opinion, if it's because of Iran and the United States going to war with each other, then I think you'll see price of oil go up. You'll see probably gold and silver go up as well, because everything that they blow up has to get replaced at one point, and all the weapons that they use, they have to get replaced. And a lot of those rockets and missiles, they have silver electronics in them. Like in the electronic components, they have silver in them. So you'll see the price of silver go up as well. Because, you know, to replace those rockets, you got to go find some more silver. So I think gold and silver and oil should do well. You'll probably see maybe the VIX go up, the volatility index. You'll see the VIX go up. And I don't think stocks are gonna like seeing us, you know, go into war. And then crypto might not like it either. So I'm not sure if Bitcoin is gonna be able to go up if war breaks out in the Middle East here. Although who knows? You know, maybe because Bitcoin's been taking a beating the last couple of months here, maybe it does go up. Maybe it does that in sympathy with gold and silver. Banana Beta said, follow me here on TikTok. Thank you for following me here on TikTok. Hope no one find this says thoughts on Ethereum. I can take a look at Ethereum for you. And what is one ticket to Yattsville? I don't know what that's supposed to mean there. Yeah, we did a Fibonacci on NVIDIA. And I just pulled that from $212 all the way down to $164, which is, I think, where NVIDIA came down to back here in September of last year. Came down 164, so I measured from that swing low to the swing high here at 212, and that's how I got these Fibonacci numbers here. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum as the next request here. And did you guys want to look at Lobstar? Because I think that's a new meme coin that some people were talking about earlier. And I think if people are talking about it, it's probably because it's probably going up in price. Usually that's why people always ask about a brand's making a new meme coin. Like, oh, take a look at this new coin. It's up 100%. Alright, so we're now looking at Ethereum. Currently trading at $2,086. Ethereum got up to like as high as $2,148. If Ethereum's going to continue being bullish and climb up to higher prices, there is resistance I'm expecting at $2,500. And that's a level that we saw Ethereum trading at back here in May of last year, going to June, even into July of last year. You got a lot of, you know, potential resistance here at $2,500. Everybody that bought here on Ethereum, they're underwater right now. And if they're not fully convinced that Ethereum is going to go to higher prices, they're probably going to click the sell button on you when Ethereum does get up to $2,500 here. So that's your upside target for Ethereum in the near term. Downside target, well, we already hit some support here at 1822. All right, I highlighted this because this was an area that we were trading on Ethereum back here in April of last year. Okay, and also here in March of last year, Ethereum at 1822, support level. because it's below us right now. And you can see, like, what did we do here? Yesterday, we actually came down into that support. We got as low as like $1,800 here on Ethereum. So we already hit that support area, and then boom, we got that nice bounce off that area with a nice bullish engulfing candle here on Ethereum. Getting above the 21 EMA, that's good to see. That's the start of trying to be bullish here. But could Ethereum climb itself up to higher prices here? Could we get up to this 50-day moving average? That'd be nice. Right now, the 50-day moving average, that green line, is sitting at 27.77, and it's in between these two levels that I highlighted, 27.40 and 28.20. Are some areas that I highlighted here, because if I turn the VP indicator, you'll see that there should be some high volume over there. If it's actually going to fire up, yeah, there we go. So you got a little bit of high volume here at 27, and a little bit of high volume here at 28.23. And I think this green line, this moving average, is in between those two levels. I think anywhere between 27 and 2800, you should profit on Ethereum. That's going to be about, what, like a 40% move up in price from where we are right now. We go from where we are right now to like $2,800. About 35% move up in price, yeah. That's a decent move up for a high market cap crypto coin like Ethereum. So I would take some profit at 2700 if I could. But I think, initially, I think we should see some resistance at 25 before we get up to 27. Let's see. Thank you, Nasir, for sending me the roses here on TikTok. Appreciate that. I want to go ahead and take a look at Lobstar, because that was a coin that people were talking about earlier in the live stream here. They said it's a new meme coin here. Lobster USDT on MEXC. Oh my god, it is brand spanking new. Oh man, it's down 61% today. Okay, so still a significant move, but I thought people were talking about it because this thing was like probably going up 60% or up 100%. This thing is down 60% today. Yikes, who took the short on this one? I didn't. I didn't even know about this coin until now. But looks like this thing started trading here on MEXC exchange last Saturday. It's only been around for like 4 or 5 days here. But damn, that's not good. Like the first candle right out the gate, you're doing a red candle here. Yeah, you got some green candles that showed up on Sunday and Monday here, but then more red candles. So this is looking like a classic dump. Not even a pump and dump. You didn't even get the pump. And usually MEXC is one of the first exchanges to actually get a cryptocurrency listed on their exchange. So this is very crazy to see that this thing didn't even get a pump before it started dumping on MEXC exchange. So I think whoever created this coin is just dumping on everybody who decided to buy it on the exchange right now. That's unfortunate. But then that's also to be expected with meme coins. Like, yeah, whoever created this meme coin is probably dumping on everybody that's buying right now. And we've seen this story before. Sometimes they let it actually go up. They'll let the exchanges bid it up. But I guess we're already in a bear market here on cryptocurrencies. So it's really hard to get any meme coin or any project to start pumping. So they probably said, you know what, whatever, we'll just sell what we can. And we're getting a dump here on Lobster. I can't really do any moving averages. I can't do anything significant here, at least not on the daily time frame. VRVP is probably not going to show much anything significant here. The VRVP is showing that the value area is above you, so this thing is clearly undervalued. You got your value area low here at about 0.0059 pennies. Then you got the point of control, 0.008 pennies is where a majority of people bought it the last few days here. And then the value area high is sitting at 0.012 pennies. And you're below all of that. So I'm not sure what else I could do here. I maybe could do a Fibonacci on this, maybe. Maybe, let's see. We'll just measure from down here at the bottom to the top here. And that should give me some Fibonacci extensions to the downside by doing that. Oh god. Oh no. I don't know. This is showing that the 1272 Fibonacci extension to the downside puts you in negative territory. You're gonna go below go below zero if this thing continues going down to lower prices. Oh my god. You might have to pay the exchange money just to give the coin back to them. Is that what this is showing here? You're gonna have to pay people to buy this thing off of you? That's... Oh man. Gigi says, can you take a look at Deep Protocol? Yeah, I could definitely do that. I haven't had anybody request Deep Protocol. I think that's a coin on the Sui blockchain, right? It's a decentralized exchange off of Sui. Let's take a look at Deep Protocol. Or some call it Deep Book. Oh man, this just started trading on Coinbase like a month ago. Let me see if I can find another exchange that has more data than that. We'll take a look at on MEXC exchange. Yeah. Okay, yeah, there we go. MEXC's had Deep for a while now. Looks like MEXC had Deep Protocol on their exchange ever since October 2024. What took Coinbase so long? You know what? I think I know what it is. Coinbase doesn't like listing other exchanges on their exchange. So I think that's probably... I mean, this is a decentralized exchange, so they probably didn't want to list them until the very end, until someone twisted their arm about it. But yeah, this Deep Protocol, like we've seen some of the best days for Deep Protocol was January of 2025 when this thing was trading at 34 cents. We're currently trading at 0.027 pennies, almost down 90% from where we were back in the beginning of last year. Yikes. And, you know, just looking at the moving averages, I know we're below the 200, 100, the 50, and we were below the 21 EMA, so this thing is very bearish up until just now, and I guess now we're just bearish, not very bearish. But man, oh man, you were below the 21 EMA until just now, until today. The lowest low, I guess the all-time low was February 6th here at 0.021 pennies. You still made a higher low than what you did here on February 6th. That's the only saving grace that you got going on. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now I want to see if this thing can climb up to the 50-day moving average. That's sitting at 0.037 pennies. That would put you at the same level that you were trading at back here towards the end of January, where there was a little bit of sideways trading going on over here. I think that 50-day moving average should be your first target to take some profit on whatever longs or spot bags you got on this asset here. Then we'll see if we can actually get up to the 100-day moving average. But man, when's the last time you actually touched the 100-day moving average? This 100-day moving average sitting at 5.5 cents. I mean, that'd be almost a double from where you are right now if you can get up to that 5.5 cent area. But I mean, we got to get past the 50-day moving average, which was a problem back here in the middle of January. We didn't even get past the 50-day moving average. But if you get past the 50-day moving average, the 100-day moving average should act as the next take profit or the next resistance level. But you haven't been at the 100-day moving average, that blue line, since October of last year when Bitcoin was at what? New all-time highs. Bitcoin was at 126K, and that's when this thing was actually at the 100-day moving average. So what? Does Bitcoin got to go back to all-time highs again for this thing to get to the 100-day moving average? I don't know. I don't know if we're actually going to get up there. I think your safest bet right now is just try to game plan to take some profit at that 50-day moving average at 0.037 pennies. That's all you can really do and hope for. Do you got the momentum to do it? Do we have anything shown here on the momentum indicator that we could try to climb up? Well, you do got buying pressure, and there's been buying pressure since the middle of February here. You had the selling pressure die off, turning into buying pressure here. You got the MACD crossover to the upside. Buying pressure started dying down again. But now you actually have buying pressure starting to increase today. So, you know, maybe we might see higher prices here for Deep Protocol. Are we going to get a relief rally here in crypto going into the month of March? I'm starting to wonder if that's going to happen here for Bitcoin and crypto and for Deep Protocol here. Let me catch up on the chat, see what you guys have to say so far. Candlestick says, you have access to a Luck Trans course. It's not even available on the internet. Alright. Kirsch says, help. What do you need help with, Kirsch? I might be able to help you out depending upon what kind of help you need. Gigi says, not yet. Looking to get in. You're looking to get into a Deep Protocol here? I mean, I like the fact that you're making a higher low than what you did here in early February. Let's see, are we showing some bullish divergence here on the RSI here for Deep? You had lower lows here up until February 6th. I'm not sure if you can call that bullish divergence here. No, you didn't really have bullish divergence, but I mean you are still making a higher low. That's good to see. Market Cipher B is showing here money flow is still in the red here, but you got a green buy dot that came in today. I want to see this turn itself around like quick and fast, where we get money flow going back in the green again, and you'll start seeing higher prices here for Deep Protocol. But very good to see a green buy dot show up today. Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, the 21 EMA could act as resistance, and it was supposed to act as resistance, but it's no longer acting as resistance. Now I just want to see I want to see Deep Protocol start using the 21 EMA as support instead of resistance. Kind of did something like that here in the middle of February. And then looks like on February 22nd, you just lost the 21 EMA. It was supposed to act as support, but it didn't. But I want to see something like this here with Deep Protocol, where we actually, you know, climb up, go higher to higher prices here. Then if we come back down, use the 21 EMA as support rather than, you know, losing it again. Bounce off of it, make a higher low, and then try to go up to higher highs here. And maybe we hit that green line, that 50-day moving average at some point. And maybe you get rejected one more time. At that point, the 21 EMA should start curving up. And when that 21 EMA curves up, maybe you can use that as support again for another higher low before you push past that 50-day moving average, you know, and get past that, you know, that green line at some point. That's what you want to see if we're going to be seeing a nice bull run here on Deep Protocol. Just buy into the higher lows. You know, take profit at the 50-day moving average, and then buy again when you see another higher low get formed. We shall see. We shall see. Hey, Cameron's in the chat. Good to see you, Cameron. But I haven't seen Cameron actually say anything, but I do see that Cameron is in the chat here. Good to see you, Cameron. Thank you, Mr. Morales, for following me here on TikTok. Yeah, the 21 EMA needs to start curving back up. If you start that, then you'll probably see higher prices for Deep Book here, Deep Protocol. Jay's in the chat. Good to see you, Jay, here on YouTube. He says, "Yo, Damien." Hey, Cameron. Cameron said he's made some huge gains. Yeah, I think I saw you in Discord, Cameron, posting up some stuff here. Let's see. Well, guys, I do have a Meet Damien Discord channel if you guys want to stay in touch and, you know, run your ideas with some other traders here and share your investment strategies, your wins, your gains, and all that stuff. Then if you go over here to TikTok, there's a link tree in my bio here, which will take you to the link tree. which then gives you the links here to join the Meet Gaming community here. And if you go over here where it says Discord server free to join, click on that, and it should take you to the Meet Damien Discord here, where you'll see when I go live. I just posted up that link for the YouTube live stream here. And then, yeah, we got Cameron over here. I think, is this you, Cameron? Yeah. 500x long on Bitcoin, up 3,800%. Cameron, you got in at 63K. Kudos to you. So I think Cameron was probably paying attention to like me saying that 63K is a good support area, support zone to get in on Bitcoin. And Cameron did that with some big kahunas here, doing a 500x long. He was able to stay in that trade. Kudos to you. And you took that screenshot when Bitcoin was at 68,900. Wow. Okay, so Cameron's one of the best traders that we got here in the Meet Damien community here. He's not afraid to use high leverage, and he's also able to stay in his trades when he does use his high leverage. So kudos to Cameron on that. You know, we got other traders here like Cannon Dry, just noting that Coinbase had a good pump today. Here's me saying I'm gonna go live, and then once again Cameron over here. But yeah, we do have you know, in the Meet Damien community, I know it's hard to stay in these trades and actually make some profit. So like when you guys do make profit, we do have a show your gains channel here, and I know Cameron likes to kind of take over. He loves posting up his gains here. But every now and then you'll see when I post up, like, you know, here I am. I did a 10x long on silver. I was up 43%, got in at $86, and I think silver, what was silver, like $90 or $89? So it's like still in that same area here. And then I was shorting. I shorted Bitcoin last night. I got in at a $66,200 area, and I took it down to 64K, 64,900. Took some profit at that area. I actually did try to short Bitcoin earlier today, but then I saw that Bitcoin was just way too strong, and I just decided not to try to short it anymore. I only shorted it twice. I shorted Bitcoin earlier today when... Let me get back into this. Let's take a look at Bitcoin one more time here. We'll look at Bitcoin on the 15-minute chart here. But yeah, when Bitcoin went up to like 67K, I was like, all right, well, this could be where we could get rejected, but we didn't. We actually pushed up further, and we pushed up to like 68K. And when we did that, I was eyeballing this area here where we were trading here on Saturday at like 68,680. So I took another short there, and I put the stop loss really tight at like 68,750. And I only took a small loss on that short that I was trying to get in on Bitcoin. But yeah, Bitcoin, thank God I put the stop loss really tight, because Bitcoin just continued on climbing up to higher prices here, up to like 70K. And here we are at what, 69,500, around like 1:30 East Coast time, Eastern time here. We were topping out on Bitcoin over that levels, yeah. So I'm not afraid to take a short on Bitcoin, but I like taking strategic shorts. Like I shorted 67K because that was an area where we could have got rejected, but we didn't. And then I tried shorting 68,700 because that was where Bitcoin was at on Saturday, and I was like, all right, well, if we go past this level, then we are being bullish here on Bitcoin. And yeah, Bitcoin right now, I can flip towards being more bullish on it just because of what we saw today. But is Bitcoin going to continue to be bullish, you know, later on tonight and into tomorrow? I like to start off by looking at the 1 hour time frame here. This is my day trading time frame. And yeah, sure, Bitcoin got above the moving averages. You're above the 200, 150, all the moving averages right here. However, you know, if this is not a sustainable move here, we could drop down to these moving averages, and those are sitting at like what, 66,700. We could lose like another couple of grand before Bitcoin gets some support here. And then also what, we had some red candles here in the 1 hour. We got the highest price here for Bitcoin about 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago. couple of candles ago on the 1 hour time frame. Let's see, what is Bitcoin doing here on the MACD indicator here? Buying pressure is dying down, but that doesn't mean that we're not done going up yet. We could still go up higher. If buying pressure starts increasing again, then you're gonna see 70K again for Bitcoin. We've seen buying pressure die down before, only for it to start increasing again. Like we saw buying pressure dying down last night, going in early this morning, and then it started increasing here at like 7 a.m. Eastern time. It started increasing here. So does this happen again where buying pressure dies down and then starts increasing again? If it continues to die down and we see a MACD cross over to the downside where the blue line crosses the orange line to the downside, then you'll start to see selling pressure, and then that might be actually a good time to enter a short if you haven't done so already. Do I want to short Bitcoin? Well, I already tried shorting Bitcoin twice today and I was wrong, so I don't know if I want to be wrong a third time here. But maybe if it do come down to low prices, maybe I try to long Bitcoin. And then here in Market Cipher B indicator, you got the red cell dot that came in at 2 o'clock Eastern time here. Momentum's going down. You starting to see money flow starting to go down a little bit too. So you already got your top signal here on the 1 hour time frame. So Bitcoin could go down to lower prices. It could. I mean, we topped out a couple hours ago, and maybe we're not done going down yet. I do want to draw a Fibonacci now. I do want to draw a Fibonacci. Let me get rid of the moving averages so it doesn't get too messy here on the chart. But I'm going to go ahead and draw that Fibonacci for you guys here. Let's see. From top to bottom, swing high to swing low. So I'm measuring from the swing low here, where Bitcoin got as low as 62,500, to the swing higher at 70,020. And I got Fibonacci numbers to look for now. We already came down to the 76 at 68,400. Looks like that did not act as support. It tried to. We tried it. We had a candle body close here on the 1 hour time frame at 68,400, but then we lost that. So Bitcoin might be on its way down to 67K here, which is your golden pocket, 67,100. Now let me see. I like turning on the moving averages to see if there's anything that kind of agrees with the Fibonacci here. And the moving averages, they're almost all here at 66,500. So I don't even know if the golden pocket's going to hold. We might actually do a retracement all the way down to the 0.5 at 66,200 before we get some support from the moving averages on the 1 hour time frame and also the Fibonacci at 0.5. We might see Bitcoin come down here. So if that's the case, I mean, maybe you could short Bitcoin, make some money on the way down to 66,200 here. But would I short now? Well, I kind of want to wait for like a little bit of a bounce up to try to catch a higher price on the short. 15-minute time frame, nothing. I don't really see no bounces here. 5-minute time frame, you did have a little bit of a bounce here, and that was when we hit 68,400. And then you got the rejection off the 5-minute 50 moving average here. Yeah, if we were to just climb up, maybe get another couple of green candles here, I would try to enter a short. If I was interested in shorting Bitcoin, I would try to enter maybe at 68,400 and then put a stop loss above this candle wick high at 68,700, or maybe even a little bit higher than that if you want to be a little bit more conservative and hopefully stay in the trade a little bit longer. Yeah, I'd probably put the stop loss right over here, but I would be shorting 68,400 if I could. So we're like a couple $100 away from that. I wouldn't really be jumping in the short right now. I would just wait for a little bit of a bounce and then try to short Bitcoin. Cameron says the golden pocket will cause Bitcoin to bounce. Maybe. Let me go back into the 1 hour time frame here. But Cameron thinks that we might get a bounce at 67K. Yeah, we might. It might be a temporary bounce And then maybe we lose momentum again and we come down to the 0.5 retracement at 66K. I think this makes a lot more sense. I think, yeah, obviously you'll see 67K first, but I think 66K is where this should be a significant support for Bitcoin. Cameron's in the short. Cameron's shorting Bitcoin right now. All right. I'm actually not long nor shorting any cryptos. I'm in a trade on silver, and then I'm in a trade on my oil contracts, and that's it right now. I tried shorting Bitcoin earlier today, but obviously that didn't really pan out because Bitcoin went to 70K. And no, I did not short 70K, but that would have been the best time to short was 70K. Let's see. Let's see how my silver long's doing here on MEXC exchange. Alright, so here we go. Silver. Yeah, I got in at $86 and right now we're at $89, and it's just a 10x long on silver. Up about 26%. It was up a little bit higher than that. I remember we saw silver at like $91 earlier today. Let's see. Let's get into the 1 hour time frame here. Yeah, we topped out at $91.20 here, 29 cents. About a few hours ago. I think gold and silver are going to be fine. So I'm pretty confident I'm going to stay in this trade for a few days here. It's one of the reasons why I'm using 10x leverage, so that way I can stay in it, you know, and not get stopped out or liquidated here. But trying to short Bitcoin right now, let's see. I'll stick to the 5-minute time frame. If Bitcoin can get up to like 68,400 or higher than that, I would try to short it. Should we just stick to this this day trading time frame, the 5-minute time frame, and just watch Bitcoin, see if it actually goes up or down? Uh-oh. Getting a little bit of red here. A little bit of a sell-off. No, not yet. Feral Candle on the VIX says the sell wall is going on Bitcoin. You think it's Jane Street case? Bull case is on board. Yeah, I saw another YouTuber talking about Jane Street case. They were manipulating the cryptocurrency market, and they were told, or someone told them, to not do that anymore. But I think that was because Bitcoin was getting close to support over the last couple of days. 63K is a support area for Bitcoin. So I think whoever told them to take those shorts off the table, or take that sell wall off the table, I think it was actually very prudent of them to do that. Because somebody else could have bought Bitcoin and punched through that sell wall, and they would have been losing a lot of money if they had their shorts. If they had their, you know, stop losses anywhere between like 64 and 70K, they would have got stopped out or liquidated. Cameron says your entry is at 68,400 for your short on Bitcoin. Oh, okay. So you just recently got in the short. And let me assume, Cameron, you probably shorted it after you saw a little bit of weakness on the 786, right? The 786 is showing that Bitcoin at 68,400 is an idea. It's a level to be looking out for here, and we've already lost that level. So let me go back to the 5-minute time frame. I would like to come join you, Cameron, on that short. I just want to see a green candle here. Oh no, we're going down lower. Oh no, Cameron's about to make more money on this short. Banda Ninja says, what's my bias on Bitcoin? In the long term, I still think Bitcoin has a lot of work to do, and I'm still bearish on Bitcoin. I still think we're in a bear market on Bitcoin. In the short term, we were overdue for a bounce, and we actually hit the 63K support area yesterday, and that's one reason why we got a very vigorous bounce up to higher prices, where we saw Bitcoin go to 70K today. I think if Bitcoin can stay above 63K, we can be cautiously optimistic and try to long and be bullish on Bitcoin temporarily. But I think, if Bitcoin gets up to like $84,000 and $87,000, which I already highlighted here. Let me take a look at this. Just looking at the daily time frame here and looking at the levels that I already highlighted. But if we get up to like 84,500, I think that's where Bitcoin could get rejected, or 87K. But I mean, that's like $20,000 higher than where we are right now. So like, if we're gonna get a little bit of a relief rally going on here with Bitcoin, there could be some money to be made just longing and being bullishly biased on Bitcoin in the short term. But I think if we do get to 84, 87K and we get rejected, that's going to be another lower high, and then we end up going down to lower prices again. Probably making a lower low after that. We saw, Bitcoin kind of do a little bit of a relief rally going into the end of December, going into January. People were getting excited again when Bitcoin got up to almost to 100K, or it got up to like 97,900 in the middle of January, and then we got rejected off the 50-day moving average. I think if we were to climb back up here on Bitcoin again, yeah, we could be making money on our longs, long in Bitcoin. But we could get rejected off this 50-day moving average, this green line, all over again. That's sitting at 84,400, right where I got this red line at. It's $84,500 areas where is where Bitcoin could just make another lower high and get rejected and go down to low prices again. But there's still money to be made if the Bitcoin is going to climb up to 84K. You can make money long in Bitcoin, yeah, for sure. So I guess to answer your question, short-term bias, we can be bullish on Bitcoin. I gotta see some more follow through. We can't just have one good day and then all of a sudden we're bullish on Bitcoin. Okay, I gotta see some follow through going into tomorrow and the next day after that. But we did what we needed to do to bounce off the 63K support area, which I already highlighted on the charts here. But this was a very important area for us to stay above, and we did that. So kudos to Bitcoin for doing that. Kudos and congratulations to the longs and the bulls that bought Bitcoin in the low 60s here. But we got a lot of work to do for me to be bullishly biased on Bitcoin, because in the long term, I'm still bearish on Bitcoin. Even if we get past the 50-day moving average, even if we get past 84K, there's other areas to be looking out for, but I won't be bullish on Bitcoin for the long term. I won't call it a bull run again until we get above the 200-day moving average, and that's sitting at 98K. If Bitcoin can get up to like 98K, first of all, if it does that, then it's gonna be a higher high than what we did here in January, and that's gonna get people excited again. But if Bitcoin can get up to 98K, I'll be like, all right, I'm bullish on Bitcoin again. I think it could be going into a new bull run again on Bitcoin. But man, that's $31,000 away. Bitcoin needs to go up like 50% from where it is right now to do that. I think that's a lot to ask for, right? Going up from where we are right now to that 200 moving average is where I need to be is where I'll be bullish on Bitcoin. It's about 45% increase from where we are right now. So if you do that, I would be like, all right, yeah, Bitcoin is we could be in a bull run here on Bitcoin. We can be bullish again on Bitcoin. Maybe I have high expectations, but that's what I need to see for me to be bullish on Bitcoin. We're below the 200, the 100, the 50, and yesterday we were below the 21 EMA. I gotta zoom in here, but this white line, it's kind of hard to see because I got the Fibonacci going on here, but we're above the 21 EMA. That's the first sign of being a little bit bullish here on Bitcoin, but we still got a lot of work to do, in my opinion. Here, we got to get up to this 50-day moving average and actually stay above it, not get rejected off of it. Let me go back into the 5-minute time frame here. Oh no! Am I missing out on my opportunity to short Bitcoin here? Damn it. Oh damn, yeah. Yeah. Look at that, Cameron, you're getting paid some more on your short. Damn. Okay. So I was kind of hoping that Bitcoin would climb up to this green line one more time and then I could short it. But that didn't happen. No, we just decided to go further down to lower prices here. This 100 moving average on the 5-minute time frame could act as support. But I think this just shows that we are now, for damn sure, going down to lower prices here on Bitcoin. And when did we hit 70K? We hit 70K at 4:35, about 30 minutes before I went live. Actually, I think I went live a little bit later than that, but like about like 45 minutes before I went live. Bacon Jan says, what do I use to short? And Bacon Jan says, do you buy Bitcoin long-term hold? I'm not really interested in buying Bitcoin until we get to like 40K. This could still be a bear flag for Bitcoin that could send us to lower prices here. I did highlight 43K and 51K are some areas to be looking for support on Bitcoin, because 51K is where we were trading at back here in February of 2024, and then 43K is where we were at in January of 2024 and December of 2023. I think if you're able to buy Bitcoin at 43K, if you do go up to all-time highs again at 126K, you're basically tripling your money. I like that. A lot better than buying Bitcoin right now, and maybe you might be able to double. You know, 63K was actually another interesting area for Bitcoin, because 63K is basically the halfway point between, you know, that and 126K. If you bought Bitcoin at 63K and Bitcoin goes back to all-time high of 126K, you double your money. And I think that's another reason why 63K acted as a good support area yesterday, and it acted like a good support area early in February. You know, yeah, we went down to 60K. We took it a little bit further than 63K, but 63K, it makes so much sense, not only with the VRVP, but also just mental math. Like, you buy Bitcoin at 63K, you sell at 126 at the all-time high, you're doubling your money. But I think we could go down to lower prices and you could probably triple your money if you buy Bitcoin at like 40K. So that's what I'm waiting for, and I could wait. I could wait for that. I think we might. You know, obviously the markets go up and down, prices go up and down, but I think we might head down to 40K later on this year. So there you go. You just asked, where is Bitcoin going? I think temporarily we might get a little bit of bounce here. We might get a relief rally if they can run with this. If we get some good news and we get the bulls excited again, you know, we could see 80K again for Bitcoin, and then we drop down to lower prices. We drop down to 60K, 50, and then maybe 40K after that. Cameron says, live a little, enjoy trading long and short. And Cameron says he would love to see Bitcoin go to 54K. Yeah, I would love to see that as well. Maybe I would take a stab at buying some Bitcoin at 50K, but I think I can wait till 40K and get rewarded for my patience. It's nice to see Bitcoin go up like 10% and Ethereum go up like 10% in one day here. But you can see, like, now we're getting a little bit of selling going on. Let's go back to that 5-minute chart. I really was hoping that Bitcoin would go up to like 68,400 and then short sell that, but nope, we couldn't do that. Couldn't do that. I missed that short. I missed the short, Cameron. Mainly because I've been on the live stream. Had I been watching the charts, I might have entered that short. That's what kind of sucks about being a live streamer, is that you miss out on a good trade. I'm not going to short Bitcoin now because we already made the move. And what's the potential payoff? I think we could go down to 67K, but you know that's not really that big of a percentage gain. I think we could go down to 66K because if I go out to the chart here, I did highlight 0.5 retracement, and you got some moving averages here on the 1 hour time frame that could provide support for Bitcoin. So I might have to wait. You know, Cameron, congratulations on taking the short, but I might have to wait until Bitcoin gets down to like 66K to try and do a long. Or try to do a long on Bitcoin. Yeah. So, yeah. This is interesting. I was trying to short Bitcoin earlier today and I couldn't because Bitcoin was just too powerful. And then while I was setting up my live stream, that was actually the time to go short Bitcoin. And now I missed out on the short. Oh man. Oh well. It is what it is. Yeah, I think I could try to long Bitcoin at 66K. Why don't I go put that in? We'll try to target 66,200. I'll try to do it out here on MEXC exchange. So here we are. We'll try to long Bitcoin on MEXC. I don't do the crazy leverage that Cameron does. Cameron likes to do like 500x leverage. I could do 500. Oh, actually, I can't do 500. I could do 200x leverage. Wait, no, actually, I could do 500. I could do 500x leverage here on MEXC if I wanted to, but usually I usually do like 40x. Well, maybe I'll do 50x. 50x leverage. So I got the leverage in there, and I'm going to do this as a limit order. We'll try to get in at 66,200. And I think I would do about $100 a margin if I could. So there's my margin right there, $108. And we'll game plan this out. On my stop, I don't like to lose more than $20 on any particular trade. So 65,800. Let's see what that does. I will lose about $32. I don't know if I like that. 65,900. I'll lose about 24 bucks. Okay, that's doable for me. And then I would just see if I could just take profit. We're at the $70,000 area. Oh my god, I'd be up about 287%. $300. Alright, cool. Let's do it. I'm going to try to do a long on Bitcoin. If we go down to 66,200, I'm going to try to take profit at 70K. I'll probably take profit before 70K. I'll probably do like partial profits that plays out in my favor. And then the stop loss is at 65,900. That's a really tight stop loss. That might be a little bit too tight. But maybe I might adjust the leverage. I don't know. I don't know if I like that stop loss being so tight. Let me just knock down the leverage down a little bit. I'm going to do like 40x. 40 seems to be the sweet spot for me for the trading that I do. So with 40x leverage, $100 a margin, I'll lose $19. you go to 65,900, but let's see, I'll do 65,800. This is about 26 bucks. Let me try this. 66,100 for the price. Yeah, I think I like that better. Alright, so I did 40x leverage long. I'm going to try to get in at 66,100. Take profit at 70k. Stop loss at 65,700. I think I like that better. There you go. I got an order here open for 40x leverage on Bitcoin. 66,100 if I can get in there. And then stop loss 65,700. I'll lose about 26 bucks if I'm wrong. I'll make $254 if I'm right. Cool. So you guys just watched me take a trade there on MEXC exchange. One of my favorite exchanges to trade on. If you guys want to start trading on MEXC to do these leverage longs and shorts here, then if you go into the bio for my TikTok, click on that link tree there. Okay, that link tree link. It will take you over to the Meet Damien link tree. And then you can see the exchanges that I trade on. I got MEXC. And then I also got WEEX exchange. And I just showed you a trade here on MEXC exchange. So you click on that link and it will take you to MEXC, where you'll get the referral. You know, you'll get the exclusive rewards that are only exclusive to my Meet Damien community here. And you can start trading on MEXC. MEXC is pretty cool though. If I go back to it, yeah, you can do 5x leverage on Bitcoin, but there's other trading peers here on MEXC where you can trade, like you can trade silver. I know everybody's interested in silver, right? You could trade silver for free, $0 fees, 500x leverage on silver. You could trade Solana for free and do 300x leverage on Solana. You trade XRP for free, do 300x leverage using MEXC exchange here. And the list goes on. I mean, there's other trading pairs like BNB. You could trade for free. Aster, you could trade for free. Oh, I thought they had more on there. I guess that's it for now as far as like trading pairs that are free. But if it's not free, the trading fees are also pretty small. They're pretty low. So they're one of the cheaper exchanges to be using. But the thing about MEXC is if you're an American or a Canadian citizen, it's really hard to use a MEXC exchange unless you use a VPN. Okay, that's one way to get around. If you're worried about the VPN or not, or if you don't have a VPN, then I would try to go back here and try to join WEEX exchange. WEEX exchange, you could trade on WEEX, and that is not going to require a VPN. All you need is an email or a phone number to get started. And they don't do KYC unless you want to. But yeah, WEEX exchange, it's another exchange I like to trade on. It looks like this right here, and you can see it's Ethereum. You trade Ethereum and whatnot. But WEEX, let's see. As far as WEEX goes, they have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash. I believe WEEX, if you trade gold and silver, it's free to trade on WEEX exchange. So they're trying to get people to trade there because they know it's like the hot ticket item. Everybody wants to trade gold and silver, and they're okay with you trading gold and silver. And then I guess they can make money if you trade something else, like, you know, like Dogecoin or Bitcoin Cash here. But yeah, guys, those are the links to start trading on, you know, on these cryptocurrency exchanges where you can trade gold and silver as well as crypto on there. Muhan Reese says, you just shorted Ethereum at 2130. We're the good place to take profit. Alright, so you just got in on Ethereum short at 2130. That's almost near the highs for today. Congratulations for pretty much getting the high for today. I like trading when I'm day trading. I like using the 1 hour time frame, and I can see that, you know, if Ethereum gets a pretty healthy pullback and blows past this 21 EMA and comes down to the 200. The 200 is sitting at 1942. That's where you can put, you know, a take profit target. But also another area where you can take some profit is this 21 EMA sitting at 1990. So maybe you take partial profit there, and then take the rest of your profit at 1940 or 1942, somewhere around there. So I'd be aiming for like 1990 and 1940 on the take profit for Ethereum, or an Ethereum short. And let's see, does the Fibonacci agree with any of that? Measuring from swing high to swing low. Was the swing low that came down to like this low right here on Tuesday, down to like 1,800 bucks. You got 618 golden pockets, which is where it normally does a retracement back towards. That's sitting at 2015. So if you can probably go down like another 40 or 50 bucks, take some profit there. And you get the 0.5 retracement at 1974, which is kind of sort of like confluent with this 21 EMA. So, I mean, I think it makes sense. You know, once you get closer to $2,000 on Ethereum, you should probably take a little bit of profit, and then if you're able to, you take some more profit here at 1940, where that 200 moving average is sitting out on the 1 hour time frame. Iwan says outlook for Power, please. Is that a cryptocurrency, Power USD or something like that? Ben says short or long in Ethereum. Well, anytime someone asks that question, trading is never that easy. Like, it's never like, oh, let's go long or let's go short right now. Because I could say it looks like it's gonna go down, but the best time to enter the short, was a couple hours ago. Right, so you missed out on the short, and this thing could just, I could tell you to short Ethereum, right, and then Uno reverse here at like 2026 or 2015, and then we just punch up to higher prices again, and then you're gonna get stopped on your short. So like, it's never that easy as to like, oh, do we long or short? It's never that easy. Never that easy. Okay, you got to figure out, where you're gonna put your stop loss, where you're gonna try to enter, and then where you're gonna take profit. And right now, like, the short's kind of playing out right now. I would try to, if you're not in any trade right now, I would just wait until Ethereum comes down to $2,000, see how it handles itself here. Maybe you could take a long, okay? But then, if that gets stopped out, like, I would probably take a long at 2015, put the stop loss at like maybe like 1990 or 1980. If that gets stopped out, that probably means that this thing wants to come down further. And if you do come down to like 200 moving average at like 1930, 1940, this is where I would try to take a long on Ethereum. But I did have a guy that said he already shorted Ethereum at like 2130. Congratulations, that was a good entry. And you can put your stop loss above the high for today, and you're probably not going to get stopped out unless we come right back up to the highs for today. But whoever shorted at 2130, congratulations. You could probably put your stop loss at break even at 2130, and you're still doing pretty well. And you don't have to worry about getting stopped out anytime soon here. All right, let's look at Outlook. We got to look at Outlook for Haiwans. I'm sorry, not Outlook. We got to look at Power. All right, is it Outlook Power? Is that the name of it? Or did you want me to give you the outlook on Power? Yeah, I don't see anything here for Outlook Power. So you must have been asking me, like, what is my outlook on Power? And I'm assuming that's Power USD, which is a crypto. It looks like Power Protocol is trading on MEXC. Let me go ahead and get the music back up and running again here. Lost my music here. All right, so we're looking at Power Protocol. Currently trading at 90 cents, down 3.03% today. And you just wanted the outlook for this thing? Oh man, this thing is relatively brand new cryptocurrency. Not brand spanking new, but it looks like it started trading on MEXC December of last year, so it's still new. I don't really have that many moving averages to work with here because it hasn't been around for long enough. But you do got a 21 EMA, this white line that's sitting at 40 cents here. I'm not sure how helpful that is. If we were to get a nasty pullback, I might get support at 40 cents from that 21 EMA. The most I could probably do right now is I could still do a Fibonacci on this. I'm just going to measure from the swing low here at 17.5 cents to the swing high here at 63 cents. Let's see what the Fibonacci has to say about things here. Alright, so we already had a pullback down to 94 cents, which is your 786 retracement. A further pullback could take you down to this golden pocket sitting at 77 cents. That's the 618 golden pocket right there. Another retracement idea is that this thing could take you down to the 0.5 retracement sitting at 66 cents. Now let me see if I can get some confluence here from any of the moving averages. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame has a 21 EMA sitting at 61 cents. So I think the 0.5 should be a good area of support because you got the 21 EMA in the 4-hour time frame there, and then you got the Fibonacci saying that we could pull back to 66 cents. So I think 61, 66 cents is where you should try to add to your position here for Power Protocol if you're trying to long this or get some spot bags on it. Let's see. What's the MACD look like here on the 4-hour time frame? Buying pressure starting to die down a little bit here on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, nothing too crazy or significant, but if it was to continue with the buying pressure dying down, then you're going to see lower prices here for power. And then here on the MACD, you got a red cell dot that came in here on the 4-hour time frame. So that's a little bit ominous, and it's giving you a little top signal here too. However, I don't see money flow coming down yet, so that's a little bit interesting. Money flow hasn't come down yet. Maybe give it some more time and you'll see money flow coming down. You'll also see lower prices here for Power Protocol. Man, this thing could be in the beginning of a pullback. I think you could take it down to like 66 or 61 cents. But we'll see if we're able to hold our, hold up, with the support level here at the 618 at 77 cents. I think that could be a support area for Power Protocol. Did I just see Lorene show up in the chat? I think I did, and I saw Lorene click the like button. It's like a little late for you guys there in Europe, isn't it? I know Cameron's here, and I know Cameron stays up late sometimes, but yeah, there's Lorene. I see Lorene with the like. Thank you, Lorene, for liking the live stream here. It's past your bedtime, isn't it? It's like almost like 12 or 1 o'clock there in Ireland, huh? I'm gonna try to do some earlier live streams. I know I've been going live late and all over the place here. But yeah, I did some more work on my house, and I still got the snowstorm. They didn't plow the street to the house that I own. There was still snow on the street, like 2 feet of snow on the street. Like none of the neighbors were able to get their cars out. Even if they dig their driveway out, they would have had to dig the street because it was like 2 feet of snow on the street. And they didn't come until this afternoon to actually come in with like a front end loader to like dig the snow out and push it out of the way. So I had to park my car like a couple of streets over and then walk to my house to then start working on it. trying to get this apartment unit that I got ready for a rental. Yeah. So I had a busy afternoon, and again one more time, and I still got to go there tomorrow because we're gonna try to dig up the carpet and put some new carpet in there. And yeah, but at least they finally dig up the snow, because I'm not sure how my guy was gonna come in and actually work on the house, because he would have had to park his car like a couple streets over and then walk over to the house just to get to the house. Yeah. So I got my own problems that I'm dealing with right now, and then I'm also trying to go live and stay on top of things here with the day trading with you guys. It's just a lot. It's a lot here, guys. But I'm over here doing my best, and I would like to go live at my normal time slot, like 4 to 6 p.m. But sometimes, you know, today I showed up late because I had to drive back from my house to my apartment. Yeah, I got an apartment and a house. So there you go. Yeah, I had to do a little bit of driving and a little bit of work today on the house, and I gotta do some more of that tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to go live again. I mean, I try to go live at 4 p.m. But if you don't see me live at 4 p.m. Eastern time, then I'll probably be live at like 5 p.m. Eastern time. And yesterday was just, I was so busy with a lot of things related to the house, but I was also tired as well, and then also shoveling snow, that I didn't even decide to go live. So, but I'm gonna try to go live tomorrow, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. If you don't see me at 4 p.m., just give it a little bit. You'll probably see me show up at like 5 p.m. Eastern time. And I try to go live for like an hour or two with you guys. Yeah. Thank you, Laureen, for sending me the roses and the Go Popular. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Mario says he's selling a snowblower. Yeah. Yeah, one of the neighbors, they actually took their snowblower and tried blowing snow in the middle of the streets, so that way people could like try to walk the street. Like the sidewalks were snow blowed, but then, you know, if you need to go from one side of the sidewalk to the other side of the street, you had to, like, you know, like, it's just craziness. But like, thank God they came in with somebody with some construction equipment, a front end loader, to actually move that snow out of the way. All right. Yeah, guys, I think that's going to be it for today. Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin doing right now? Can I enter a short? Oh, uh-oh. We're getting a little bit of bounce off the 5-minute 100 moving average. If we come up to 68,400, maybe I could try to short Bitcoin and put the stop loss above the green line here, the $68,600 level here. I can put the stop loss right above that. Because if we actually get above, and we actually get above that 5-minute 50 moving average, then maybe Bitcoin, maybe this is all you get for a pullback, and then maybe Bitcoin's just going to continue being bullish here. Let me look at a 1 hour time frame, try to get ideas like what are we going to do tonight here with Bitcoin. MACD is still showing that buying pressure is dying down, and if we get a crossover to the downside, that might be it. That might be it for Bitcoin. Maybe I should short Bitcoin right now. Should I short it right now on the live stream? I did put a long. I'm trying to long it at 66K if we go down to that level. But I could probably short at 68K, take profit at 66K, and then go into the Bitcoin long at 66K. Try to see if we can go up to like 70K tomorrow. We shall see. We shall see. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this live stream. I like to see you guys. We'll try to go live again tomorrow, so I'll look forward to seeing you guys same time tomorrow, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time. At some point, I'll try to do an afternoon live stream, and I'll let you guys know about that in the Discord here when I actually do like an earlier live stream, so that way my folks, my people in Europe can actually see me go live at a reasonable time instead of like while they're trying to go to bed here. But I appreciate you guys showing up to the live stream anyways, even if you are about to go to bed right now. And yeah, we'll try to look at the charts one more time here, see what Bitcoin's going to do next year. But I think for now, you know, if Bitcoin doesn't pull back, I think 66K is where you could try to enter a long if you want to do that. But if Bitcoin is not going to pull back any further and we're going to go up to higher prices, I mean, now we got a 1272 Fibonacci extension that says, yeah, Bitcoin could go up to 72K. So I think, you know, 70K and 72K is what we should be targeting for our day trades. If we're long in Bitcoin, take profit at 70K and then take profit again at 72K if that's what you're trying to do here for Bitcoin as of now. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, and we'll listen to some music on the way out, and I'll try to answer the any of your questions here on TikTok while we're listening to the music here. Take care, guys. That's me. Ooh.